Yeah, the call wild's always bringing me home. Call wild's always bringing me home. Call wild's always bringing me home.
Well, hello, wild ones. Welcome to another episode of the Find Your Wild podcast. I'm so excited to have Elina Gleizer here today with me, jewelry designer, and handcrafter. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm rocking one of Elina's pieces right here. And we'll talk about it a little bit more, but how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure and honor. It's my first podcast appearance in English.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
lovely.
excited.
I'm so excited. So to basically for people listening that don't know you yet, how give me a little bit of your background. How did you first get started in jewelry?
Okay, so I was always artistic. And then when I decided what to go to college, so I went to design college and I studied goldsmithing and design. And after 4 years, I graduated and I just started to make all these rings and earrings. And then I made a wolf ring for my boyfriend, which is now my husband and my business partner. And he
I'm
didn't
not
love
happy.
it. No, it was. This is my second wolf ring.
Oh,
What you are wearing now. This is
cool. The second rendition.
yeah. I remade it, but I made the first one, and he didn't love it. He said, "No, this is not for me." So after accepting his criticism, I went with my gut and I just listed on my Etsy shop, and someone bought it. So it was very very a happy moment for me. And then this person asked me to create him an owl ring, which I happily agreed because I had no job at the time and I had plenty of time. So I created it for him and he loved it as well. And this ring, this owl ring, this is when my business just started to level up. And I listed it on my website and on Etsy, and things began to roll.
Yeah, and I love your designs. They're truly so unique and they're more I don't know if people can see a little bit more and I'll post some at the end of the video as well so people can really see them, but they're so beautiful. They're detailed, but they're abstract, but like you really can see exactly when looking at the piece like what the animal is. And I remember the first time like I saw some of your pieces, I was like, wow, they're just really so cool, so unique, really wearable too. And I love how many different animals you've come to add to your collection over the years, which is amazing.
Big family now.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell people like a couple, I guess, of the animals that you have in your collection.
Oh, I'll do better. I'll show you my box,
Oh,
my
great.
ring box. Okay.
Please. Please. I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. And just put it up a little more. Yeah. Oh my God. Amazing.
So I have a whale, a Capricorn, wolf, two wolves, gorilla, lion, lioness, rabbit, bull.
The
Let me
rhino
see
is
what
so
else.
cool too.
Rhino. A few owls, an eagle, two foxes.
I love the dragon ring too, which
Snake.
is
Oh, thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. I'll put it
Yeah.
down because it's very heavy.
Heavy, I'm sure, yeah. And I'll link everything so people can take a look too, but it's just so amazing. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about your process. You use the wax process. How does
Yes,
that tell me a little bit more about that.
sure. It's a really ancient technique. It's called the lost wax technique.
Hmm.
And I always start with a block of wax. Then I like sketch on it and I start to carve. I just begun making. I don't know if you can see, but it's supposed to be a moth or
Oh, I
some
could see it. Yeah.
butterfly. I don't see. I don't know yet. Like I'm going to surprise myself in the in the
Cool.
process.
Yeah.
So it's very, very cool technique. I just make the model. We cast it in silver, and like how they do the casting, it's a mold that becomes that you put in an oven, and then the wax is melting, it's disappearing, and
Right.
then you pour liquid metal into it, like silver or gold, and then you do all the finishes, like so the metal will be slick and fine. It's a
Wow.
really cool process,
It's very cool.
very
Yeah.
long, and
Yeah,
yes,
and very handcrafted and still being able
yes.
to use your hands up until the very end, right?
Yes, just right before you get the ring to your hands, I've been working on it. Yes, it's a real process. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it takes sometimes it takes weeks to create a ring, and sometimes it takes a few months. Like the lioness ring I created, I just became then a mother, so timing was different,
Right.
and it took me like 8 months, like pregnancy. So
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like each design is gonna be different, right? Um, how's
yes.
how's it like? Because I'm a mom too, but how's it like having a business, being a mom? Is it sometimes hard to juggle? What is that process like for you?
Okay, so I used to be a workaholic.
Yeah.
I used to work until like midnight, sometimes more. Um, and my my business was my baby, and then I became a mother, and I had two babies, and it was really hard for me at the beginning, to separate and to be like to give 100% to my child and 100% to my business. It was very, very hard, and I can say I'm still struggling. There's days I need to work late, and my baby's coming, and she needs me, and then I need to leave work.
Yeah.
So, but luckily I have a business partner, which is my husband, and
That's great. Yeah.
and he's a very good father as well. So he takes her when I need
She's
to
in good
work late.
hands. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I guess that just goes to show how much you really love what you do too, right? Because that's why it's pulling at your heartstrings so much because it's really where you're meant to be.
I love what I do. Like
Yeah.
it is my happy place. I used to write this post and just photograph my studio and say it's my happy place. It is my very, very happy place. I'm
Yeah.
the happiest when I create, and when I carve these animal creatures, I am the happiest. Like it
Yeah.
really brings me so much joy, and then seeing um, my creation on someone, and like when you told me that you're enjoying your ring, it
Yeah.
makes me so happy. Like I have a purpose. I have like it is there's meaning to every ring.
I love it. That's so beautiful to like follow your passion, and you're clearly so talented, and it's so wonderful to be able to see all like how your collection has grown as well. I can't wait to add to my collection eventually as well. I was looking last night and I said to my husband, I was like, I think that like if I had to pick like one of the next ones, I feel like I would have to get the whale because the whale is I really, really love
Yeah.
that one.
I was so obsessed when I created the whale that I later went and got a tattoo here
Oh, I love
of a
them.
whale. Yes, I was really, really obsessed. Like, this is on my to-do list to go to and to see the humpback whale in life. It
Oh yeah,
will be a
that's
real dream.
I'm very excited because at the end of May, I'm going to Mexico to Baja and with a couple of friends, and they do like eco excursions, and we're gonna go free diving. So I'm
Oh my
very
God, I'm
hopeful
so
to see.
jealous.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe one day you could join us. That would be so
Oh,
fun.
that will be amazing. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's on my bucket list too. I'm a big fan of orcas, so I'm
Wow.
fingers crossed we get to be in their presence. But yeah, I'm
Oh,
very
that
much
will be
looking forward to
amazing.
it.
Isn't
But
that
yeah.
terrifying though?
Yes, right? I mean, you have to be a little terrified, but then
Yes.
also like just in awe of them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's this like humbling experience. I think that like you have to have a little bit of like natural fear to be able to
Mm.
respect a lot of these animals because they're wild and, just respect their space and all that stuff. But,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So I wanted to ask you too about the wax process. Is there a reason why the wax is green or it just happens to be that way?
Yeah, it's the hardness of it. So you
Oh,
have
interesting.
for me it's the most comfortable wax because it's very hard and I have more control.
Mm-hmm.
There are softer waxes, blue and pink, but they're too soft for what I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
And it is really easy to control it when it's so hard. Yes.
Right. Do you ever have to like melt a little bit more onto the piece too if you
Well, it's a very forgiving process because sometimes it's not sometimes it's work in progress. So there are pieces that I don't like, so I can melt wax onto it and then carve it all over again, like if
Right.
it doesn't go right. Because in my process, I try to do symmetrical objects, and when I always begin like with the right side, and then this is my nightmare. I need to mirror it to the left side,
Right.
and so this is the hardest part of the process, like to mirror it.
Of course, yeah.
So then I see like if there's some mistakes, and then I need to put a little wax on it or to remove. So it's very forgiving, and it's like Control Z, on the
Yeah.
computer. You can do that sometimes.
Right, because I can imagine it being very hard to get the symmetry right with
Yes.
just your
Well, it's
eyeball.
not it's not 100% symmetrical.
Right.
I'm not a machine. Like I do the best I can.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the beauty of it being handmade, right? I mean, I also would never be able to tell it's not like, perfectly but it was funny. I had a friend on, Tamara, and she works with the Orca Conservancy by us in the US on the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest, and they focus on the endangered southern resident killer whales. But we were talking about the eye patches next to their eyes and how those aren't symmetrical either, and I said to her
Really?
jokingly, I was like, they're sisters, not twins. So it's totally fine. Nature doesn't have, like you think that they have perfect, but it's all
Yeah,
in
they
nature too.
should. Yes, but our face isn't symmetrical also. So
Right,
yes.
right, exactly. So funny, right? So yeah, so tell me about some of the other designs, like some of the inspirations behind some of the ones that you already have, because I was reading some of the amazing stories behind like your inspirations, and I really love them, especially the gorilla one too was really cool. I just had on somebody from Gorilla Doctors. And so that was another one that I was like, the gorilla really spoke to me. It was really beautiful.
It is. It is. The gorilla I made for my grandmother. She loves gorillas.
Aw,
So I made it for her. She doesn't wear it also. Like my family are not, they are fans. They're big supporters, but
of
they
course.
don't wear my jewelry. Um, so I made a rhino ring. And back in 2018, the last northern white rhino had passed away.
Mm.
And so I was deeply affected by it. I don't remember to, like, I was 20, I was 30 years old, and I didn't remember like big animals like these being extinct.
Yeah.
So it had a really big effect on me, and I created the ring, and I loved him because he was so gentle. He was like a legend there on
Yeah.
the in Africa. So the rhino ring, I loved it a lot, and I created a rabbit ring, which is always on my pinky ring right here.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
This one is inspired by Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yes.
The rabbit there. So it
Yes.
is like kind of neurotic, and he's not sweet. Like he is not a cute bunny at all. And I
That's
love
right.
him. I love his attitude. So
Yeah.
every animal I do, he has its own character. Some are very, very serious or mysterious. There are some sweet guys here, like the bulldog and the pug, the two
Yes.
dogs. They're very, very cute.
Consider, yeah, and speaking of dogs, here's my dog. I don't know if you
Oh,
can see her. Claire, say hello.
mine is taking a nap.
I usually have, do you have an Australian Shepherd too?
I have a border collie. They're
Okay.
very, very similar. Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that on one of your stories. I have a
Yeah.
mini Australian Shepherd.
Oh.
He's usually laying down here, but I think he's waiting to eat. But that's why she's coming down. But yeah, this is Claire. She's in Newfoundland. She's 100 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
It's
huge,
a,
but she's
yeah. She's very gentle. Oh,
oh,
she's so sweet.
she's the biggest mush ever. She lays in between my husband and I sometimes. In bed, she crawls right in between, lays on her back. She's
Wow.
so funny.
I love, love, love dogs. Really.
Me too. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The speaking of the little dogs that you have, the pug and the French bulldog. I thought that when I saw those, I was like, oh my god, they're so cute because they really have such distinct faces too. So
Yeah, they're iconic. I had to make this.
yeah, I really love that. I think that my husband had a pug growing up, and he definitely always tries to be like, we have to get a pug someday.
Yeah.
So they're very sweet.
Sure, all the time. Yeah.
I
My
love that.
friend.
Yeah. Hi, Claire. Um, so what is like, so I saw the moth that you have that you're doing. I can't wait to see that when it's
Yeah,
done.
too.
It looks beautiful.
It's always a surprise for me as well. Like,
That's really cool. What's like in the back of your mind that you want to try to bring out into the world that's on
oh
the
wow.
pipeline?
A giraffe,
Oh, cool.
um, a zebra. I really want to make a turtle because I always get emails from customers or potential customers for the
Yeah.
future, and they ask me to do and they give me ideas. So
Yeah.
I got, like, for the past 2 weeks, I got 4 emails asking for the turtle. So I
Oh,
think there can
that's
be like people who love it. So I think I'm gonna make it. It's very, very challenging because I'm doing a face, and a turtle, it's like you have to do his whole body. So I need to
Right.
imagine how it will be. I need to
Yeah.
obsess a little bit about it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar to the whale one, right? Where you kind of had to do the whole
Exactly.
body. Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. The whale. Yeah, I didn't focus just on his face. I really want to show how magnificent and huge he is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right? It's I feel like for the whale it would have been hard to do just the face. So, it makes
It's
sense.
not fair for the whale.
Yeah.
Like I felt obligated to show him in his full figure. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and I also really love the Capricorn one. Was that a little hard
Thank
because
you.
I
The
don't know if you have it
horns.
that you can show it, but like
Yeah.
the horns,
I
right?
accidentally wore it today, so
Oh,
yes.
good. Yeah, I love that one too. It's so cool. Was that a little harder because the horns were a little longer, or what was that like?
No, I just made the face first, and then I started melting wax on top of the face, and then I created the two horns.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I really really love that one. And you have other designs besides animals too, right? What are some of those that you have?
I do. I don't have a lot. Like I have a woman's face, and I have all these rings for engagement or wedding rings. But well, I used to feel embarrassed, when someone they always asked me, why are you doing only animals? Like, why aren't you doing more of earrings or more of hoop earrings or things like these? And like then I used to feel uncomfortable with this question, but I feel very comfortable to answer that. I love animals, and this is what I choose to focus on. This is what brings me happiness, and I see that people are happy with it too. So like to be able to create this, I can do like a hoop earrings, but it's not exciting for me. You can buy it
Mhm.
in 1,000 different stores, and I just try
Right.
to do something different, something that is not existed, that does not exist,
Yeah.
because every time I think about a new idea, I open the internet and Pinterest, and I try to see what had been done before, just to not to repeat someone else's work.
Yeah.
um, so I just try to challenge myself with new interpretation of the animals I love and adore. And I do have, like, the woman is very very beautiful, but I have only one of these. So
Yeah.
maybe when my enthusiasm will when I feel like I have made all the animals I wanted,
Right.
then I'll
Maybe
go
then.
and do something different. Yeah.
Yeah. You have a big that might be hard because you have a big catalog of things that and
Yes. And it's amazing, how lucky I feel. Like, my inspiration is endless. So
yes. Such a good point, right? The animal world is just so amazing.
yeah,
It-
and I just
yeah.
began with the sea world. Like, the seahorse are so cute, and like there's so much more to be done. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many different pathways you could go down and yeah, I'm an artist too, so I have a clothing brand and I hand draw everything on my iPad and then I upload it to certain products. So like this is the wolf one that I have. It's
it's
based off of the
great.
book Women Who Run with the Wolves. So I don't
Oh,
know. You
one of my customers just told me that she bought the wolf ring because she just finished the book.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's an amazing book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give it a read. Yes, I'll
yeah,
try.
it's very philosophical, so sometimes like it's a little hard for people to like get through, but it's a really powerful book, especially for women, which is why I really like loved it. And it's about like the wild woman and connecting with your more wild aspects of yourself. But yeah, I hand draw everything too, and it's like this process of trying to come up with, and what I really appreciate about your artwork is to try to come up with something unique, right? It's not always easy, but when you really connect to that flow, that inner source of creativity, right? It
Yeah.
just it's amazing what you can come out with that's unique and different and adding to the world too.
Definitely. Like I didn't invent Wolfram, right?
Of
And this
course.
is what is so beautiful and interesting to see, that every designer, every artist takes it to his own interpretation, to his own language, to his own design, and then you can see all these kind of wolves, right? Your wolf, mine wolf, and
Right.
it's really beautiful to see.
Yeah, that's what I love about art too, right? Like you said, it's everybody's like unique rendition of what they see. Um and I feel like that's just one of my favorite things about art in general. Like being an artist, appreciating art, is seeing all the like the way that people interpret what they see in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I wanted to ask you too about like, because like the animals are more abstract, like when you're designing them, do you think that makes it easier or harder to come up with them?
Um, I think it's harder, but this is where I challenge myself, because I take an animal, I sketch it, and then I try to lose all the details and just leave the most important ones. So then I need to decide, like, if I lose this detail, if whether it will harm the identity of the animal.
Mhm.
So this is a bit challenging, but I think that this is what also makes the designs very interesting and unique in my
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's even cool, like you have so many different owl rings, right? Like so
Yeah,
it's um what's really cool about that is like, I mean, there are so many different like species of owls in the world, but like you really make it so that you can really tell each one is a different owl. It's not just like, oh, that's an owl. Like, no, that's the barn owl, that's the great horned owl. Like,
yeah,
like you could really tell like how distinctive and the difference between all of them are.
yeah. Like with time, I fell in love with adding the details. Like so, with time, my rings became larger in proportion, and then I can add more to them. But still, I just try to keep it minimal,
Yeah.
just keep it slick design, and not to lose the identity of the animal, but also just to keep it very very abstract and minimal.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so when you design, because I know you have some like necklaces of the animals and stuff too, you always start out designing as a ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it just
I
makes it
love
easy.
rings.
Yeah.
Like rings are for the wearer,
Mm.
and necklaces are for everyone else. Earrings as well. Like
Mhm.
rings are for you. You are enjoying them, right? You see them. Necklace dependent. If it's long enough, you will be able to see it, to touch it. But rings, you look at the ring all day, and
Yeah.
the ring looks at you. There's like an sort of interaction, and so I always start with a ring, unless I decide ahead that I want to go and do a specific pendant, but I rarely do that. Like
Yeah.
I always design the ring first, and then I can make it a pendant also.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. And I mean, one of the reasons why your ring spoke to me too is like I'm always like a chunkier ring wearer. Like I feel like I always have to wear uh bigger, chunkier rings on my pointer fingers, or I love having multiple rings. I think that it's so true that the ring really is for the wearer, right? As well. And I think there's something also really cool about having like just like a really unique piece that like stands out, and like especially an animal, which like is something that I really obviously love as well, is that there's so much like spiritual significance. And like I love how like you talk about like sometimes on like some of your blog posts about like how like the lioness is so fierce, and like we can take the like I really pride myself on like we could take aspects of those animals and bring them into our everyday life. And I think that it's really cool and wonderful when we have a piece, especially when it's like jewelry that we can have as like, and especially when it's on your hands, as like a reminder of like being able to bring
Definitely.
those aspects into everyday life too.
Yeah, it's a self-expression, and even though the ring is is big, it is a pretty small object
Right.
relatively to, it's not a huge coat or something, so it's a really
Right.
small but very powerful object, and we can like express ourselves through that and connect with their characteristics. And like you said, a lioness is, she's fierce, she's a leader, she's a mother, she takes care of everybody. So
Mhm.
you can really connect to their character as well. And this is why I think people really love animals too, because they can connect to their characters and to their spirituality.
Yeah, because right, there's something just so incredible and inspiring about animals that's just like kind of like you said, it's like endless. Like there's endless amounts of animals out there that you can find like resources in to be able to like call like that. I don't know, I always like to feel like if I'm feeling like down like or something like that, I kind of try to actually like I'm a very visual person, so like I think that's a part of being a creative. But I'll be like, okay, maybe today I'm gonna, bring in my own inner pack of wolves, and if I'm feeling down, I'm gonna be like, okay, those wolves can just like attack all of the like things that are eating at me today or something like
Of the
that. But
negativity. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So
definitely. It's sort
yeah,
of a talisman. Like it has powers, really.
yeah,
It has your
yeah,
energy. It has yeah, I think it has your energy as the wearer, and it has the animal energy as
yeah,
its
yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And I love that you have different like levels too. So like you have like just the basic one, which is just like the kind of like the sculpture of it, and then you can kind of like add up, if you want to like beef up with like stones and stuff too. I think I have the middle one cuz mine has the wolf. I forget if this is like but it has like kind of like a yellow eyes, and then like the black nose and a
Yeah.
little bit. So how do you choose like what stones go like where, or like which stones you want to use for which animal? What's that
So this
like?
is this is the fun part. This is
Yeah.
after I already finished the model and it is ready. So this is really the fun design part, where I like choose which what size of stones I'm gonna put, and where, and how many. So the stones have two roles in my opinion. The first is color,
Hmm.
because the ring is all silver or gold, so this adds a little bit of extra color.
Yeah.
And the second, and it's more important, it gives it life. Like where I have a wolf ring just like yours, and it, when I just started making it, it had no eyes or nose, and later I set it to blue diamonds in its eyes, and it became alive, like it can look at you.
Yeah.
So when I add the eyes, they are like more, they're alive. I can't say human because they're not, but
Right.
they're just, they look at you and they feel really, really like you can talk to them. It's really life figure.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I really love like the it really does, it pops like when I'm looking at like mine, like the way that the eyes sit, especially like the yellow one for the wolf. It's like
Yeah.
it really is reminiscent of like the yellow eyes that the wolf has, which is really cool. So, yeah.
Right. So I can play with it if I wanted to have more calm spirit. So I will use the blue, but in yours, I like the yellow because it's more realistic.
Yeah.
And I made one with pink tourmaline, which is more like ladylike.
Right. Yeah.
So all the art of color becomes really, really real here when you
Yeah.
use it.
And one of the other things that I really love is that obviously everything is handmade. So you guys only produce so much per month, and you really put a lot of love and care into each piece. And you, like, I love your focus on like ethically sourced stones and everything like that. So tell me a little bit more about like how that process works for you guys.
So we are a small studio. It's me, my husband, and I have another jeweler that works from her studio. And we create, everything is created when order is being placed. Like we don't have a stock,
Yeah.
so it reduces waste immediately. And this is why it takes 14 to 21 business days to produce, because everything, we make everything by order.
Mhm.
And the stones we use natural stones. We use also lab created diamonds, which is a very sustainable thing. I love lab created diamonds.
Yeah.
They're very quality. Their quality is very high and they're very durable. And like the whole process and the whole thing that we're doing here is to create timeless pieces, both like in durability and also in design. So the wolf ring you wear is made of silver with sapphire eyes and black diamond nose, and there's like no reason it won't last forever. Like the
Yeah.
metal is very, very strong and good, and the stones are good quality as well. So the pieces are just made to last.
Yeah, they're really beautiful. I mean, I've had mine for years, and like you literally can't tell that. Like you would have like like it would have been like I just got it, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I really, really love it. I did get it when I was skinnier, so when I was pregnant, I was not able to wear it,
it's okay.
but I'm glad that I'm able to to enjoy it again. Yes. So, yeah, I really love that. And then yeah, I was looking too that I saw recently that you had on there was the polar bear design too,
Yeah,
that I really
mama
love.
bear.
Yeah, Mama Bear, I love that. Speaking of like things that we could, have in our environment that, especially as us being moms, I really love that one too. That was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. I watched the movie. I tried to like be fully immersed in this polar bear, and it actually started with the whole climate change, but then it transformed to being a mama bear, to
Yeah.
be like just a mother protecting her kids through a very, very difficult time.
Yeah, it's amazing too. Like that's why I love documentaries and like wildlife photographers too. It's like the ultimate um like thing that you could appreciate nature with, that you could be able to take away from nature without actually like taking away something from nature. And like look at how many things like it inspires people to then create just from that. Hi, wild ones. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Find Your Wild podcast. This episode is sponsored by my clothing brand, Femme Sauvage, and you can find a discount code and link in the description. So check it out. We have a lot of amazing designs, and $5 of the proceeds goes to different charities. So please feel free to check it out and enjoy the rest of the episode. Thanks so much. The next thing I was going to ask you too is what so we talked about the turtle. Is there you have also mystical pieces like the dragon and the unicorn. Are there any
Yeah.
other like mystical creatures that you'd like to maybe like add or work with next?
Yes. Well, I think that next I will try to like invent something of my own, like
Mm,
a woman with horns, or like something mystical like that. Um,
cool.
I don't know when, but I'm like, it's cooking inside of me to make it. I think I'm a little bit scared because it will be like completely me and not taking inspiration from an animal. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I'll create something like that, like to invent um, something brand new, like that doesn't exist at all.
That's really cool. I can't wait to see that eventually whenever
Yeah.
it comes into fruition. Yeah. One of the there's this really cool myth. So I'm Irish too, so I have like some family that's still in Ireland, and one of my favorite tales is the tale about like the Selkie. I don't know if yeah, you've heard about it, but like for people listening that might not know, the Selkie is like a woman who has a seal skin, and she's able to put it on, become a seal, take it off, and become a woman. So I also have like a piece that I'm working on that I'm drawing, but like there's something so fascinating about the woman becoming like the shapeshifter,
Yeah.
um, which is really cool.
Definitely. I'm
Yeah.
so excited about it right now. Maybe it will be my next project.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see how like that could fit really well in your scheme of designs and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, sort of a Medusa, with the snakes,
Yeah.
but different. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Is there, so you're in Israel, is there any like wildlife and stuff by you that you get to see or
Okay, yeah. There are plenty of birds, and but now we moved to north, and I have a fox. Like, it's not mine, but it
right.
it, it come and visits, and my dog is getting really really angry because he's trying to protect the house.
Like,
So we are living here for the past 3 months, and I used to see this fox, and it is the first time I saw like this wildlife for me. Okay,
yeah,
so then I decided to create a new fox. So
right, because you were inspired because it was like
yes,
calling to you.
I was so inspired. Yeah, I felt like it meant to be.
That's so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it like that's what inspired me to start drawing this. The seal the selkie is because I went for a hike a couple weeks ago, and I'm on Long Island, so we're very close to the water over here in New York, and it's always been on my bucket list to see wild seals, and I went for a run, and I go to the end of the beach, and I'm like, what's that on that rock? Because they had been laying out for a while, so they were like white. These are like
Wow,
regular seals. And then I look and I'm like, oh my god, they're seals! I finally saw them. So,
that's
um,
amazing.
Yeah, I feel like similar-ish to you. Like Long Island's not
Yeah.
full of like wildlife, I would say. So it was pretty special to be able to see them, but it's
Wow,
just
so special. Yeah.
right. It's like
Like the first.
inspiring, to and then create
Yes,
with that.
it's real. It's not only in National Geographic, it's really outside. So
Yeah, to be able to like go in
great.
our natural world and to be able to like find certain things. And there's a very
Yeah.
small population of river otters by us, which is next on my bucket list to try to go out and
Oh,
find too.
definitely. I love otters.
Yeah, they're
They're
so
cute.
cute, but like
Yeah.
also like I wouldn't like they're I think people don't realize how big they are too. Like
No, how big?
they're probably like when they're adults, they're like probably your full length of your body. Like they're pretty long. Yeah.
With the tail. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Okay.
really big. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh there was a story I read that these poor ladies were floating on a river and they got attacked by a river otter too. So
Oh, no.
they can be pretty fierce. They're not
Not
just
not
cute.
so friendly.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So there's that balance between nature that we need to love and
Yeah,
respect them, but they could
definitely.
also be very fierce, even though
Keep your
little.
distance. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So besides humpback whales, are there any other animals that are on your bucket list that you'd like to go see or?
Yes, like to visit Africa, Tanzania
Yeah.
is my dream. Um, like I keep saying, I'll do it next year and next year, and then my daughter said that she wants to join me, and she's only 6 years old, so like
Oh,
I
wait.
think
Yeah.
too young to to give her such a thing that maybe she will not appreciate the right way.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but I hope, like, maybe I'll just do it on my own. I
Yeah.
just I just need to find the right opportunity. But yeah, this is definitely something I really want to do. Like I listened to your podcast about the wildlife photographer who travels to Africa, and it is
Yes.
such an amazing opportunity and to witness them in their home and to
Yeah.
see how they behave in real life.
Yeah, there's something so special about being able to just be a fly on the wall and just like witness wildlife doing their thing and like not disturbing them and just being able to get a little glimpse of their life and then yeah, and just being able to be like, "Oh wow, I had this little moment like with this animal being able to see what they do in the wild." Because it's
Yeah.
like for us as humans, right? It's like sometimes we're just so disconnected from that like animal portion of ourselves or like that wild aspect of ourselves. So to be able to, see animals not in like, not like us, right? Like to be able to see them
The
is really cool.
animals, they do not perform.
Right.
They don't act. They're just living their true character and life. And I think this is what I love most about my dog. He
Yeah.
is so real, and his love is so pure and honest. Um, and yeah, this is like to be wild is to be yourself, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's also like my whole goal with like the podcast is like what is that inner wild inside of yourself? Like what is that true inner being? Because I truly feel like the more that we are like aligned with what we're meant to do, like we're just so much better outwardly, right? Like to our families, to people that we connect with, because we're so content and happy in what we're doing and what we're meant to do, right? Like those animals are, you know whatever they're doing, right? If it's a jaguar, if it's a whale, like they're just being. So I think that the more that we can tap into that way of just being, like whatever that is for us, I think there's something so powerful behind that.
Yes, definitely. It's like yeah, being true to yourself and try to I think I'm doing it most
Yeah.
of the time with the job I picked to do. Most of my friends are in tech,
Yeah.
and they're like I don't know if they're happy as much as I do. Well, being a small business is not always easy. It's very, very challenging, but
Yeah.
I think that I feel that I'm making my dream come true and not someone else's. So
Yeah.
it's something big for me. Yeah.
And I think it's really beautiful too that everything that you do is like really unique, and especially like coming from inside of you, like that creative aspect, and like you haven't seen anything like that out in the world, which I think is really truly
Thank
so
you.
special. Yeah.
It's the best compliment ever.
Oh, and you really deserve it, because I really, every time I look at them, I'm always like, oh wow, like they're really so beautiful, so unique, and they're very distinctive. Like you can absolutely be like, oh yeah, that's totally what that. And like it's also like, I think something I really appreciate about like the abstract portion of it is like, oh wow, like that's a really cool way to look at the points of the animal, like the features of the animal, like that
Yeah.
make it really distinct.
Yeah, this is what I like about it. I like to choose an animal, and then I just watch all these videos and I wash my eyes and brain, and I think about how my mind is going to translate it.
Yeah.
And then I begin to sketch it, but between the 2-dimensional sketch and the 3-dimensional wax, there's like there's not they're not similar at the end. Like the sketch is also sort of inspiration,
Yeah.
and so it's a very big surprise for me at the end, like when it's done.
That's so cool, because that makes a lot of sense too, because it's something that's coming from 2D, then you have to make it 3D, and
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to figure what will be higher and what will be lower, and which curve I'm going to make deeper, and you can see it on a sketch.
Of
So it's
course,
very
right.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I can't wait to see all of the cool things that you're going to come out with.
Yeah.
Eventually add to my collection a little bit at a time. But thank you so much for coming on today. It was so nice to get to
Thank
know you
you.
more and to know more of your process. It's really amazing.
Thank you
Just
so
let
much.
people know where they can find you, reach you, see all of your collection.
Sure. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's Elina Gleizer Studio. You can see I share a lot of my process, of my thoughts when I'm creating things, my inspiration. And I have a shop on Etsy, which is Elina Gleizer. And I have a website also. You can shop there also and see the full collection. It's elinagleizer.com. Um, and thank you so much, Brianna, for having me.
Thank you. It was so nice to have you on, and I'll make sure to link everything below so it's easier for
Thank
people
you.
to see. But I really appreciate you coming on, and it was so nice to get to talk to you more and learn more about your process. And
Thank you.
thank you, and
Thank you
thank you.
very, very much.
Oh, of course. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and
I'll make the whale for you.
oh, yes, yes, thank you.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay.
But thank you so much, Wild Ones, for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.